All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going on an investigative journey, but not to some far-off place. We're going right under our own feet. We're going to peel back the floors, look past the walls, and uncover the hidden story your home is trying to tell you, all through its plumbing. I mean, really think about it for a second. Have you ever heard that weird gurgle coming from the toilet late at night? Or that persistent drip, drip, drip you just can't seem to find? Maybe your shower just feels like it's draining slower and slower every week. Well, those aren't just little annoyances. They're messages. They're clues from a system that's working tirelessly and almost completely silently behind the scenes.
And that's really the best way to think about it. Your home's plumbing is its circulatory system. It's this incredibly complex network of arteries and veins, bringing in fresh, clean water and carrying away waste. It's what keeps everything alive and running. And the crazy part is, even though it's absolutely vital, it's almost entirely invisible.
So that little sound, right, that gurgle, that drip, it's just a symptom. And to really understand the health of the system, we can't just treat the symptom. We have to go deeper. We've got to investigate the forces, the real root causes that are acting on this hidden network. Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we're heading to a real-world laboratory, West Covina, California. Now, by zooming in and looking at the unique challenges that homes face in this one community, we can start to uncover some universal truths. Truths about the forces that impact our own homes, no matter where we live. So, challenge number one is just time. A lot of the houses in West Covina went up during that post-war boom, and that means the original plumbing, which was usually galvanized steel, is now 50, 60, even 70 years old, right at the end of its lifespan. But here's the really sneaky part. These pipes fail from the inside out, hiding all that corrosion and damage until it's way too late. Okay, next, let's layer on the environment itself. The water in this part of California is what you call hard. It's full of minerals that build up inside pipes. It's literally like cholesterol in an artery, just slowly clogging everything up. Then add in the constant tiny seismic shifts that are always happening, stressing out those pipes. And finally, the temperature swings that make them expand and contract. It's a triple whammy, just silently attacking the whole system. And believe it or not, even the way a house is built plays a huge role. A lot of homes there sit on a concrete slab foundation, which means the water lines are buried right inside the concrete. If a leak happens, it's incredibly destructive and a nightmare to get to. The alternative is a raised foundation. Now, that gives you easier access for sure, but it also creates a whole new problem by exposing the pipes to everything from the weather to rodents.
So, what happens when all these things, the old pipes, the tough environments, the type of foundation, what happens when they all collide? Well, the consequences suddenly get a lot bigger than just a tiny drip. They become these high-stakes problems that can cause some really serious damage. Let's take a look at what that actually means.
First up, the one everyone dreads, the slab leak. This is the direct result of those old pipes buried in the concrete finally just giving up. And the signs? They are so subtle. Maybe your water bill inexplicably spikes one month, or you notice a weirdly warm spot on your tile floor. It's a quiet catastrophe that's literally happening right under your feet. And then you've got this classic battle, right? Nature versus our homes. All those beautiful, mature trees lining the streets have these incredibly powerful roots. And those roots are just naturally searching for water, which they find in older clay sewer lines. They can sneak into the tiniest little crack, and once they're inside, they just expand and create this massive blockage, leading to a total system backup. Yikes. So when something like this happens, you're faced with a really big decision. Do you just repair the one leak, or do you replace the whole system? Look, a repair is great for a single isolated problem in a newer house. But in an older home, that one leak is often a warning sign that the whole system is about to fail. A full replacement is a bigger investment up front, but it's the smart long-term play to prevent what's called cascading failures, where one pipe bursts, then another, then another.
Okay, I know. Hearing all this can feel pretty overwhelming, right? But here's the good news. There is a system of protection in place for you. There's a set of rules designed specifically to safeguard your home, your investment, and of course, your family's safety.
You know, a lot of people think of permits and building codes as just annoying red tape. But this quote really nails why that's not true at all. Getting major work done without a permit can cause huge legal and financial headaches when you go to sell your house. Following the code means the job is done right, it gets inspected by a third party, and your investment is actually protected. It's your safety net. So when do you actually need one? Well, as a rule of thumb, it's for the big stuff.
In a place like California, that means replacing a water heater, doing a whole home repipe, any kind of major sewer line work, messing with gas lines, or even just adding a new sink where there wasn't one before. Simple stuff, like fixing a leaky faucet, you don't need a permit for that.
Of course, the big question on everyone's mind is, how much does this stuff cost? Well, a few key things drive the price. The absolute biggest one is access. Getting to pipes under a concrete slab is just way more labor-intensive than working in a crawl space. The materials you choose also matter. Modern PEX piping is usually more budget-friendly than traditional copper. And, naturally, urgency has a price. An emergency call on a Saturday night is going to cost more than a scheduled visit during the week.
So if you do have to make that call, the process with a real professional should be super clear and, honestly, stress-free. It all starts with the call, where you get a clear window for when they'll arrive. Then, they do a thorough diagnosis to find the real problem, and they give you an upfront flat-rate price that you have to approve before any work begins. Then, and only then, is the repair completed, tested, and guaranteed. No surprises, period.
All right, we have gone deep into the hidden world of plumbing by looking at our West Covina case study. So now, let's bring it all back home. How can you take these lessons and become a better detective in your own house?
Let's connect the dots. If you suddenly see your water bill spike out of nowhere, you've got to be thinking, could this be a hidden leak? Maybe even a slab leak? If you hear gurgling or you notice that multiple drains are slow, that's a huge red flag for a main sewer line blockage. In an older home, if your water pressure seems low or the water looks a little rusty, that is the classic sign of old galvanized pipes corroding from the inside. And if you find weird, soggy spots in your yard, that could be a leak in a main water or sewer line. These are the exact clues you need to be listening for.
When you really get down to it, it all comes back to this one simple idea. Those little creaks, those drips, those gurgles, they aren't just random noises. They're a language. Your home is constantly talking to you, communicating its health. And after everything we've looked at today, the only question left is, are you ready to listen?